Death is a concept that many cannot seem to grasp even when they are fully aware of the fact that it is destined upon everyone and happens naturally. Destined, I'd get rid of upon, I'd say to happen to everyone and is natural. Or I reword this because it's a little awkward at the end. Um, in his speech to Hamlet, Claudius makes an attempt to or in his speech, Claudius makes an attempt to put a halt on Hamlet's distress over his father's death by comparing his constant weeping and mourning to that of a female. "'Tis unmanly grief, it shows a will most incorrect to heaven." Well, let's take unmanly grief and I would put that right up here. Put a halt on Hamlet's distress, 'tis unmanly grief. Comparing his father, embed that in the middle of the sentence, discussing it, right? And then I deal with the will incorrect to heaven separately when you talk about the religious aspect of this. Young men from the Middle Ages, especially Hamlet, who is a prince, are supposed to be very masculine and strong. Hamlet's consistent sadness over his father's death is something that Claudius doesn't view as acceptable because it shows the inverse of how a man is supposed to act in accordance with his beliefs and this time period. And you might want to also say something here about how it sort of poses a threat. It makes Hamlet look like a threat to Claudius. If he's not getting over the death, then he's kind of dangerous. Referring to Hamlet's mourning as unmanly grief is a tactic that is sure to work on someone who is supposed to be seen as mighty and noble. I think you've sort of established the bit about impugning the manhood. I don't think you need to go on this much with it. So you cut either some of this up here or cut this down here and combine it. This seems redundant. Now we've got a deeper objective than that. In that we want to you want Hamlet to have life go on and to accept the new order. He then includes a biblical connotation saying it shows a will most incorrect to heaven. Now, I think there's a lot more that you can get out of this speech than you have so far, because we have two good quotes here. I like your citation. Claudius believes that Hamlet's stubbornness is not something that God would want. In addition, Hamlet is not letting his father rest in peace. That's kind of a good thought there, right? Is that I don't think he's saying that directly, but you can say that he's implying it. He is going against the life of the deceased, divine rules in heaven and in nature's inevitable life cycle. I really like that sentence. Where is it? But you've not given me evidence that he's dishonoring his father's memory. So find a quote in there that shows that. You've given me one example of going against divine rules of heaven. I think you might have more than that. And I think you could do more with nature's inevitable life cycle. Is there someplace else where we talk about that? Now you've given me 3 categories here, and you give me 2 examples. Add examples. Mentioning the rebellious breaking of rules that Hamlet is taking, and this looks like another direction that you haven't supported. Turn that into a little mini paragraph there.